Welcome back. Do remember that you can find all our top stories on channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. You can also watch us live on your mobile device by logging on to m.channelstv.com and download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. The Channels TV and the Channels 24 apps will give you access to news and updates. You'll also have access to the Eyewitness feature. With it, you can share pictures, videos, or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu, and don't forget to follow the instructions you see. The Rivers State Governor, Wike, has commended the presidency on the way it handled the security situation in the state. Speaking in a statewide broadcast, Governor Wike commended President Muhammadu Buhari for not being politically sentimental about it. He also directed the security agencies to go after gang leaders who security reports say are still engaged in violent crimes.
The sad faces of the victims of recent killings in Ogba Egbema Undoni local government area of Rivers State summarize the pain and anguish that prevailed in the communities when the alleged mass murderer and cultist Don Wani held sway in the area. His home is now desolate, and the alleged murderer's gang has come to the end of the road through the intelligence operations of the DSS and the Army. The Rivers State Governor is pleased with the development.
We are deeply worried when our investment in security are deliberately prevented from yielding the desired results due largely to a recurrent tendency to politicize the federally controlled security agencies and services in the state. This is the reason we must thank Mr. President for doing things differently, and with the support of all, a different result has been achieved.
He also seeks an end to some other alleged cult leaders.
Based on reliable information by the security agencies, I hereby direct them to immediately arrest and prosecute the undermentioned persons who have either reneged on the terms of amnesty and or refuse to embrace same by continuing with cultism, kidnapping, and armed robbery in the state. We reiterate our zero tolerance for all forms of criminality and reassure our residents of our determination to be tough with those who choose to violate our criminal laws and undermine peace and security in the state.
Residents of the state say they want the security agencies to stay proactive and rid their communities of all dangerous and heartless humans. Emmanuel Irey, Channels Television News.
The federal government has promised to address the health conditions of Nigerian returnees from Libya. That's according to the Health Minister, Professor Isaac Adewale. The minister, who visited the returnees camp in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, confirmed 10 admission cases so far. Meanwhile, a second batch of 487 Nigerian returnees from Libya have arrived at the Port Harcourt International Airport on board Max airplane. The plane arrived at exactly 10:43 p.m. This brings the total number of returnees to 977 in the last 48 hours.
We observed a well-planned scheme to screen them, to do the proper documentation, to do psychosocial assessment, and then a medical review. And my team is essentially concerned with the medical review, and they are doing an excellent job. We screen everybody. I think the first port of contact is the Port Health Service, and we want to screen them at that interface. And then when they've gone through the network, the immigration, the NAPTIP screening, then they come to us. And then we screen them medically, just to be sure that they're okay and fit to be reintegrated into the society. If they are not, we look after them. And as of today, we have 10 on admission.
Basically, we are very interested in those of them in detention camps. And then it's a voluntary thing. And of course, most oftentimes when we see them in depression, we see them in very distressed situations, we actually bring them back. Don't forget, there are some Nigerians there living legitimately in Libya. But some of them who are illegally migrants in Libya and then in detention camps are being treated in very dehumanizing manner. and we will not accept it.
And let's go to Imo State now, where youths have joined forces with the Department of Petroleum Resources in the state to force petroleum marketers to reduce their pump price and sell at government-approved price of 145 naira per litre. During the agency's routine inspection in Owerri, the Imo State capital, the agency sealed about 4 filling stations for under-dispensing.
The drive-through experience for motorists at fuel station is gradually returning after weeks of difficulty finding petrol. While this may be the case in major cities, petrol stations in Owerri, the Imo State capital, appear defiant as the product sells above federal government-approved retail price of 145 naira per litre.
The station claim they don't have fuel.
Officers of the Department of Petroleum Resources has been called up to duty once again, and they are joined on this occasion by some protesting youths who say they have had just enough. As the monitoring progressed, recalcitrant marketers are sanctioned for either dispensing less quantity for more money, selling above the 145 peg, or hoarding.
If we come back here by tomorrow or even this evening and hear that they have gone back to selling anything above 145, we are going to auction the products, and after auctioning, we will seal the station. So I'm advising them that they should please don't buy any product that they know they can't sell at 145 at their retail outlets, because EPR will not take it lightly with them.
The culprits, as always, keep making the excuse of buying the product at a premium, but the Department of Petroleum Resources is not buying any of that, as they insist, though all marketer will defy government directives.
The Lagos State government is giving assurances that all home and shop owners whose property had to go for the right-of-way in the ongoing construction of the Penn Cinema flyover will be compensated. The Lagos State Commissioner for Urban Development and Physical Planning, Abiola Anifowoshe, in a chat with Channels Television, promised that the affected people will be paid whether they have papers or not. Mr. Anifowoshe is giving his assurance as some of the affected owners are protesting the demolition of their property, asking the government to consider relocating rather than compensating them.
When the Penn Cinema flyover is completed, this is what it will look like. And work is ongoing to achieve that within the next 10 months. However pleasant that sounds and looks, it brings concern to some residents. They accuse the government of demolishing their shops with their houses, which were bought from the same government marked for the same action.
I came in respect of the shops. The shops were actually demolished on the 13th of December 2017, and that is why I'm here. Without any notice, so to say, we were not written formally. And we requested for that. Even before the demolition, we went to them, but they refused to notify us. All we saw was their caterpillar, and that was it, and they started demolishing.
This protest is meant to call the attention of the government to how this laudable project might affect their lives.
I'm here to beg the government, excellent Governor Hambode, to please help us to relocate us. My equipment are outside now. I don't know where to keep them. Since December, I'm not myself. I'm not myself. My children are there now. I don't have a means of paying their school fees. I have about 12 staff working with me. All of them now, they're out of job. So please, Governor Hambode, help us and relocate us.
Part of their grouse, according to them, is that they were not duly informed prior to the demolition, an accusation the state government denies.
My notices were supposed to be for 7 days. That's for my law. I have served since last year. I did not remove until late December. I gave 3 months. I'm a human being, my brother. Blood flows in my blood. we carry human face with what we do.
Meanwhile, the government has given assurances that every property owner affected will be compensated within the year.
All structures that will be affected will be compensated, whether you have title or you don't have anything. But it is the owner that will be compensated, not the tenants.
Beyond compensation, another option the residents want government to consider is relocation to other estates within the vicinity.
And when News Across Nigeria returns to find out what the governor is saying about security in Lagos State. Please stay with us.